They used to say it takes about 7 to 8 times for new information to click. And now I think they're saying it takes anywhere from like 14 to 20 something for new information to click, because we are addicted to scrolling and we get so much information in so many different areas. Saying that, it makes sense as to like whenever you get caught up in learning new information, if you don't go out and utilize what you're learning, then it's kind of going to go in one ear and out the other. Take it into a spiritual route, and they say everything happens at your time and you are always where you're supposed to be. But then there's also the taking responsibility for yourself and putting forth the effort to create your own opportunity, right? And I'm saying this because while I became addicted to learning for like a couple years, half of that stuff, like, it's not like I can just go back and be like, well, this is what we're going to do today. In some instances, there are, like, if something occurs while I'm interacting with someone, like, the information does kind of pop up. But case in point, I was listening to a podcast, and the gal was going on about the whole things happening to us versus things happening for us. And that was something that I came across like towards the beginning of my little rabbit hole, and it's kind of been forgotten about. And when I heard her say it, I was like, oh yeah, that's like really, that's a good redirect. That's a good reframe. And then I was just scrolling. I was flipping through my journal, and I came across like a little paragraph of, at some point in time, it had clicked again, and it's not dwelling on why everything is happening to you. Like whenever the shitstorm comes and everything is falling apart, it's not focusing on why is it happening to me? Why does everything always happen to me? But redirecting it into why is this happening for me? What is this showing me? Like, what is this doing for me? Because something that we'll always have to deal with are dilemmas. We'll always have to deal with some kind of inconvenience. And whenever I've noticed in myself, when I get really caught up in the dwelling, in the spiraling of lack or of just shame and, just fucking terms, getting caught up in that, like, woe me, it doesn't do any good. It just doesn't actually accomplish anything, and it gets me in my head, and I waste all the time and energy circling around all this fucking cry shit, whenever to remember to just reframe it and find the opportunity allows you to continue forward, like to move and make decisions that are going to benefit you instead of just keep you in your little pity party. And it's just very interesting to me. It's just very interesting to me how it takes the practice. Like you can learn all this knowledge, and it's in there, after you hear it a few times, after you research it. But until you actually put yourself in the situation and utilize it, like, you forget about it. And I think I'm more irritated with myself for the fact of how long I sat and soaked up all this information instead of like utilizing it when I came across it. But again, it takes so many times for it to actually click. But I also believe that clicking happens whenever you go and immerse yourself, go and utilize what you're learning, and then show yourself evidence so that you can build trust within yourself in the fact of, like, this didn't kill me. Like, this is actually pretty safe. And the outcome was better than my typical go-to that my childhood, whatever, safety subconscious has always ran on default. Because we all have it, but we also have the choice to change things. That's kind of just what I had to say today. The fact of the matter, and maybe this is something because that whole happening for me has popped up like 3 times in the last few days, there's a good possibility that I need to take a moment to look at my situation and see, which actually, okay, so the situation, we've got the fork in the road for the manifestations, and we also have the connection that we're working on. So both of the directions in the forks require communication and connection with others, which I'm working on, and I feel I'm feeling pretty good. Like I'm showing myself that I'm not gonna die. So the fact of the matter is like there is proof that I am no longer the person that I used to be. Shocking. And honestly, like, no matter what happens, because again, we're not solely going off of just the possibilities of how great things could be, but actually like living in the moment and taking in real recognition of what is happening, not just things that are being said. And so like the outcome I don't have the answer to yet. But why is this happening for me? I think it's because it's time to grow up, right? It's time to expand where we have been, expand where I have been, and it's like that upgrade. Like we're at this point where no matter what choice I make, because no matter what, I can't stay where I am. I'm losing my place to live. So like it's happening, and I'm not really upset about. I'm just more trying to figure out like what path do I want to take, right? There's actually even a third one. Like there's so many because I'm really bad about getting closed off into a tunnel vision, but there's actually so many different opportunities. If I just look for them, I'm sure that something else will come about too. But anyways, these 2 main ones, it's happening for me so that I can grow. Because all we're doing in this life is growing, if we choose to. I mean, you don't have to. Which kind of brings me into some other ideas of like what direction. But again, we can't dwell on things that we don't know. We have to take on like real evidence. So why is this happening for me is so that I can grow. So if that, like, it's kind of exciting because I haven't been stressed about it. And I hope, like, if you're in a position right now where shit's hitting the fan, you're having all these tower moments, everything is falling apart, you can maybe utilize this and take a deep breath and maybe ask yourself, like, why is this happening for me? What is the purpose for this happening for me? Because we all have room to grow. And yeah, so that's my daily thoughts for today. I hope your day is gorgeous. And until next time, bye.